everybody. This is Delzino Wilson Debriano, president of Tag Team Marketing, leading the Black Business Network and the Buy Black movement. And I am blown away because today I am in Lithonia, Georgia, Main Street, Incorporated Lithonia. And this is like the new Black Wall Street. Y'all got the new hottest restaurant in town. Green Love Kitchen. Off the chain. They are actually feeding each other. There's about 8 small black business owners, all young, all under 40 years old. Wow. That they are actually nation building. They are doing the work that our elders and scholars have been talking about for some time. They are actualizing it. And
It's really creating a movement, supporting our own communities. It's about investing in ourselves.
wow.
If we can't invest in ourselves, who else will?
Who else will? So this is Lithonia is becoming the new Black Wall Street.
Good evening, everyone. This is Javon Green. Welcome to the Finding the New Black Wall Street podcast on the Black Dot Media Network. I'm here with my brother, Kazemde Ajamu, founder of Black Dot Bookstore. How you doing today, my brother?
Hey, brother. I'm Blacktastic.
Blacktastic. I love it. I love it, man. This is a long time in the making.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to really and truly just break out this product and this piece. And there's no better person, I think, to really bring this idea to fruition, which is finding the new Black Wall Street. What is it? What does it mean? When the book comes out, I know you guys are going to not only love the book, but really have a better understanding, especially once we start rolling out these episodes of this podcast. And I'm just excited today, to really and truly just finally put the work that we've done, document this work, put it out so people can understand in terms of like the work that it took, right? Because a lot of times people show up and they think it was just overnight.
Absolutely.
And this is years in the making.
And not only was it years in the making, what we're doing right now is years in the making.
Exactly.
Because we should have, because it happened when it's supposed to happen, and I realized that, but it's like, I'm just happy that we're here, that we doing this project.
So am I.
I'm excited
we about to go in. We about to go in, strap tight, get ready for a show. It's going to be amazing. So what I want to do is start the show off by first going into my brother to my left, Kazemde Ajamu. What does that name mean, brother?
Kazemde means ambassador in the Yoruba language, and Ajamu means fight for what he wants.
Fight for what he wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a first name to that too, right?
Talk to me.
Adigun. So just a quick story. As we know, in some African tribes, the parents don't name the child.
Yes.
Right? The elders, grandparents, watch the child for a very short period of time, see what the child's gifts and natural abilities is, and then names the child based on that so that child grows into it.
Okay.
So when I had my name change, and Wally Mubaruti,
shout out to Baba Baruti.
Gave me the name. So, Kazemde, everybody knew I was kind of an ambassador and I fight for what I want. But he named, the first name is Adigun, which means righteous.
The righteous ambassador.
So, my challenge was being righteous. Okay. So that was something that even in my 50s that I was like, okay, I got to grow in. To this name, so. So most people call me Kazemde, but it's
Baba Kaz, Kaz. We mix it up every now and then.
Mix it up.
Yeah. So I think it was interesting that you brought up Baba Baruti because he's gonna come back later in the story.
Okay.
In a strong way.
Oh.
So it's
anything he does is in a strong way.
Him and his queen.
Exactly.
Right? So just tell us about your journey in terms before you got to downtown Lithonia, Black Dot Bookstore. Tell me about that journey.
Oh, man. I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Right.
Went in the military at 19. Actually was here in Georgia in Savannah. Married when I was young. Had some children.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. We do that when
and
we
we do that. Divorced after 5 years, moved back to Jersey, went to Chicago. Kind of grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
Was there during my 30s.
Okay.
And Chicago's a beautiful city.
Yeah, shout out to Chi-Town.
Yeah, it really is. And then I moved back to Georgia. I wanted to be closer to my family.
Okay.
And my children. Being in Chicago or Jersey, I was like far removed, and they were like growing up fast.
Okay.
So I came back here, and just really I was still trying to find my way, even in my 40s at this point. And just kind of interesting how I moved around. I have a 20 years experience in the mortgage banking business.
Yeah.
Did that for 20 years in New Jersey, Chicago, and here in Atlanta. Also was in car sales, so I've been bouncing around in sales.
Okay.
From the time I was a little head, selling loose joints and nickel bags. So that was my introduction to sales, right?
Yeah.
But,
most of us introductions on the corner.
On the corner,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Learn a lot of math and stuff.
But entrepreneurship is kind of interesting, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, "Well, why did you become an entrepreneur?" And I said, "Because I'm a felon."
Okay.
I didn't have a choice. See, with that, or go up in these corporate offices or these HR people, and the minute they ask you if you're a felon, you just see that look in their face.
Gotta check that box.
Yeah, you see that look in their face. I couldn't take that look.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to shame me. Well, maybe I did feel shame.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't take that look.
Okay.
So
I know the feeling, man.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
So entrepreneurship was really the only way to go from there. And I tried many things.
Yeah.
Funny, my wife used to call me the copy man, because I was selling copy machines. The oil man, because I was selling oils. And I landed on T-shirts. Think
Okay.
Black. It's
so hold on,
Okay.
because I want you to go into that transition, because what I hear is corporate, I hear sales, I hear coming up, like you said, in the ghettos in New York, and learning how to just get by, essentially.
Right.
Went to the military. So at what point did like this idea of consciousness about just like Black, did this idea of just making sure what you're doing is, because once again, that's the name of Think Black.
Correct.
Is the brand.
Is the brand.
Think Black, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the brand.
And that's how I knew you.
Right.
I met you with
You met me with that.
at Think Black. So
Right.
yeah, so I'm hearing, like I said, sales, corporate, etc. You did some times, unfortunately, you did some time in federal, but when did you get that level of consciousness?
Well, before I moved to Chicago in 91. So I would say sometime in 89, 90, I was working at a bank.
Yeah.
And in their foreclosure department, actually.
Okay.
And I met this sister named Andrea Williams.
Yeah.
And I met her at a kind of a after-work networking thing, right? Mm-hmm. And she used to just sit there and she should just drop knowledge. Like, I really wanted to get with her, but she wasn't interested in getting with me in that way.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
She was like, "Nah, I need to plant some seeds, right? You need to get some, you need to grow up." But
get some right knowledge.
So she lived in Newark, and I lived in Orange, New Jersey at the time. And I used to go over her house, and she would talk to me for 30, 40, 60 minutes, and then she would stop and she would say, "Brother, you need to read." And I was like, "No, I don't. I'm smart enough to retain everything that you're saying, so keep talking."
Yeah.
Right? And of course she wouldn't. So one day I was downtown Newark shopping,
Okay.
and some Muslim brothers had a sidewalk book sale.
Yeah.
Right? And walked in, I'm going through the books, and I picked up this book, Everything They Never Taught You in History Class, Volume 1.
Okay.
And I bought it, and I went home, and I literally called in sick the next day because I couldn't put this book down.
Wow.
I mean, and the beauty of this book is it gives you passages of our culture, African history, African American history, but it gives you a passage,
Yeah.
and it tells you the author's name. So, and throughout the whole book, it details all these different things. So not only are you learning history that you didn't never know, you knew what book. Like, I got introduced to Dr. Ben.
Okay.
So all of these books. So I just started buying these books.
Okay.
And then I moved to Chicago, and I stopped reading. Right? Don't know why. I just stopped. And it wasn't until I was doing time in 2003. I moved to Chicago in 91.
Okay.
I came to Georgia in 98.
Yeah.
I got indicted and went to jail in 2003. And while I was sitting in jail, I was like, when I was reading, I wasn't on any of this bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was trying to live a righteous life.
Yeah.
In a way. So when I got out, I started reading again. And actually I had lost all my books, and I started going to Madu in Greenbrier Mall.
Yeah.
And I had said to Sister Nia, which is the owner, that I had lost all my books and I wanted to buy all the ones that I had. So she was like, why don't you buy one that you had and then buy one that you didn't have? But she would suggest the ones that I didn't have. And I was just going through them. And it's like all the questions that I had in one, when I would come in and she would suggest the second book, it was answering the second one. And then at some point, you realize that you have a responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, and not just a responsibility to yourself, but to your community. You know, so that's when things started to change. And then I ran across a sister that was selling a Think Black t-shirt. It just said Think Black.
Okay, yeah.
At an event, Baba Rudy, speaking of Baba Rudy. And I was like, what are you doing with that? I bought one, and she said, well, really, she had these t-shirts for years, and she really wasn't doing anything, and she's trying to sell the rest of them. I said, do you mind if I use it? She said, I don't own it. Marcus Garvey owns it.
Oh, okay.
Buy black, think black, be black.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what it says. So so I took it and I added the description.
Okay.
In like 2014. And I started selling t-shirts. And another interesting story is that my wife started calling me the t-shirt man. Right?
After you done been the oil man, everything else. Yeah.
Because none of what I was doing was making money.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing okay, but it wasn't making money. It wasn't paying no bills, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, something feels right.
Okay. About this.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna do a quick little break. You know, we gotta shout out our sponsors. All right. So this episode of Finding the New Black Wall Street is being sponsored by Black Dot Bookstore and Cultural Center.
Ooh-wee.
69. Look, see, at the timer. Look, this is how we doing it. It's raw, y'all. We keep it on time, but we got to give our sponsors a shout out because we're talking about books.
Yes.
We're talking about reading.
Yes.
Right? And the power of what it did to you.
What it did to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's right that we shout out Black Dot Bookstore. So you want to tell them about Black Dot, my brother?
Oh.
Let's give them a short version, you know, because we're going to get into it, the long version in a little while.
Short version is I wanted a bookstore because if it changed me, how many other young brothers and sisters can it change? How many of us, upon understanding who we are, right?
Yeah.
Who our ancestors, what our ancestors gave to civilization that can change. So what better way than to start a bookstore and then naming it Black Dot?
There you go.
Black Dot is, one is the oldest symbol, circle with a dot in it, of the creator.
There we go.
Right? Another one is like this portal from your conscious self to your subconscious knowing.
Okay.
In other words, in saying everything that we need to know is already in us.
There we go.
But we just have to tap into it. So that's how the name Black Dot. You know, it started as Black Dot Bookstore when I was inside Green Love. I know we're going to get there.
On, so
wait, but I just had to say this. But the Black Dot Cultural Center was really your brainstorm. I mean, I had to say that.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, so back to the show, back to the program. And this is amazing. I'm telling you, this is something that I didn't see back then.
Right.
Because we're talking about 5-6 years in the making.
Right.
You know, this is 5-6 years in the making. And right now, what we're doing is monumental. So the book is coming out, Finding the New Black Wall Street. It will be in Black Dot Bookstore, exclusively in Black Dot Bookstore. We don't have any dates yet, but it's coming. Look out for it. And I'm at the part in the book where I'm actually talking about Lithonia, the city of Lithonia. You know, it was founded in 1856, the city of granite, you know, in terms of our people and our contributions, what we did as Masons, right, from the community, as well as the lynchings that took place, you know, the hard times. And Black Wall Streets were all over the United States and abroad.
Absolutely.
And the whole thing about Lithonia is that it wasn't necessarily a Black Wall Street back then, but we did something special, right? So we had an opportunity to really and truly cultivate the new Black Wall Street, which in my opinion we did, because one thing about branding and marketing and business, you always let your customers define you.
Define you, yes.
You know, what do they say about you? You can say whatever you want to say you are. But what do they say about you? Because that's what sticks.
That's what sticks.
You know, and that's what's good. That's the message that really spreads. So what was said was, I've come to the new Black Wall Street, right? So, which is interesting because I didn't know Delzino.
I knew Delzino.
Yeah, you knew
right.
Delzino. So back to the story, right? So Think Black, right? It's a shirt now. It's a brand because I know when I first saw it how I felt about it. It was simple, straight to the point. And it spoke volumes. Yes. Right?
Absolutely.
So obviously you saw the same thing and why you picked it up. And I never knew that story actually about
really?
The lady. Yeah, it was some random lady that just was like, I got it from Marcus Garvey.
Right.
You know? Okay. So the definition behind it too, because you put a whole
added the definition.
Yeah, support
now,
Black
what
community.
I did, yes. So I added the definition because I didn't want to just keep it the same as hers.
Okay.
So I was like, I need a definition. Plus, I wanted people to understand what that is. Because even with a definition, I have walked past some Black folks who just said, well, I'm Black, I think Black. No,
exactly.
You don't. So
you still go to Walmart?
Yeah, exactly.
But keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so even with the definition, I felt it was important to have the definition, what that meant. So anybody that reading it kind of understood it. But I learned that even with that, a lot of us still just missed it, right? I even had people very early on that was like, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable wearing this around my white coworkers. And if you really read the T-shirt, it's like it's nothing that should make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
It's supporting Black family, black self first, Black family, Black community, emerge in Black love and unity. That's the definition.
The definition of thinking Black.
Of thinking Black.
And at the end of it,
it's okay. It's okay.
There you go.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with thinking Black. Every other ethnic group.
You know, I was doing some research, right? Just offshoot, but Powernomics, reading Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson, amazing book. And he spoke about the idea of being too Black, right? You never hear Jews say, I'm too Jewish or too Irish,
right?
Or I'm too, but it's like for us, we always feel like if it's too much Black, or I guess too much Black people involved, or it's too Black, and then at that point it's not appropriate,
right.
Whether
social engineering,
right? So back to the story though, so I guess we kind of how I came down here, right? Yeah,
that's kind of where we are.
No, we are. We're at the Think Black, the shirt.
We're at the Think Black.
Yeah. So how did you hear about what was taking place on Main Street, Lithonia, in downtown?
So I have to tell this part of it. I had Dr. Chikakua, had Sabre Academy, him and his wife, and they had a Parents' Day. And I went to this Parents' Day and kind of hung out, and I met this brother there, right?
Yeah.
We build and all that, so left there. That was like on a Saturday, and then that Sunday, I was on Facebook, and I saw this video. Oh no, I got a invitation or something. I don't remember where I saw it, but I got an invitation, and I thought it was that brother, right?
Yeah.
To watch this video. So I clicked on the video, and I see the this video about an African Center school. Now, mind you, Baba Rudy also has an African Center school. I just told you about Chica Coolest. I used to donate.
What? Shirts?
No, donate
Fun,
whatever
money.
little,
Okay.
and not big donations. If it's $40, $20, it's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It adds up.
Exactly. So I'm like, an African Center school, Lithonia. Like, and I had been downtown Lithonia before, right? I knew it was just 1 square mile town with a little over 2,000 people, majority Black. And I'm like, oh, what's going on, right? And he talks about the school, and then the video takes a ride through Lithonia Park, right? And back, so I'm like, I'm going down there on Monday. So Monday came, I came down. You weren't there.
I wasn't.
Fred was there, Nia, and Jay. Right now, Nia and Jay were not employees of Green Love Kitchen. They were patrons, but as Green Love Kitchen became known, there's plenty of us that just hang out there, right, all day, eat and hang out. So when I walked in, I had a Think Black T-shirt on, of course, and Fred asked me about it, and I was like, "This is my brand." And then Jay and Nia was like, "Hey, do you sell them?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, why don't you come back on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever?" I don't remember which day it was. And they want to purchase one. Yeah. And I was like, cool. Now, mind you, I was going down to West End every day. And I wasn't moving T-shirts, right? Yeah. Literally wasn't moving T-shirts. So I was like, I'll be back. Yeah. So I came back, and that's when I met you.
Okay.
Right. So I sold Nia and Jay a T-shirt. You came in, and then the brother that did the video. Yes. I thought it was another brother who sent me the video. Walks in the door, and I'm like, Muhammad. Yeah. I met you at PNC, right, when he was working. So like everything just aligned, right? So everybody was sitting in there, and I felt at home. Yeah. Right. And for the next couple of days, I would come back, and then I'll never forget, because I was selling T-shirts out of my trunk. And you and your wife was like, bring the T-shirts up in here. Yeah. I'd sit there at that table and sell your T-shirts. And I used to talk about this all the time. I used to be like, I could just be sitting there, and y'all was like, Elder, sit your ass down over there somewhere. Yeah. And everybody come in, you would point them over to get a T-shirt. Absolutely. And so the Think Black brand really started moving in the Atlanta community from that point. And the
rest is history, I guess.
Pretty much, right? I mean,
I want to piggyback. I want to piggyback on that part, because I didn't meet you the first time that you came, but I heard about you. Okay. I heard about this brother, Think Black shirt. You know, Fred told me. Shout out to Green Love Kitchen. Shout out to Jay and everybody, Nia, the whole team. Right. So at that time, we might have been open maybe several months, maybe like 5 months, 6 months. Well, we did a soft opening in October the following year. Right. And then January we did our grand opening. So
and this was around April, May.
Going in because that
2015. Right.
So that video was for a summer camp Harriet Tubman School was doing that summer. Right. And we did some promo videos and commercials. Shout out to my brother Muhammad Cannon, business partner and brother, like I said. And the video went out essentially on Facebook. You saw a video and you came down. Right. So you were called essentially.
I was called, absolutely.
So Spirit led you here. Yes. And I like to say that Spirit leads us to this work. And when I met my brother, he had some jean shorts on, because it was springtime. Right. He had some jean shorts on, T-shirt, right? The Think Black shirt, and he's outside, and I'm looking at him, right? And it was interesting because there were no elders in the community that essentially took this level of understanding, not just consciousness, but understood entrepreneurship, or just was able to build and open. Yeah, and we just don't call people Baba. No, you got to earn that title. Right. And especially myself, so it was okay, we had the school going, Green Love Kitchen was open. Then we had Ray Hagen's, right, with the
African Village.
African Village, right? And it was just this energy that was taking place. So when I saw Baba Kaz and I felt it, I saw the shirt, I was sold. I was sold. I'm like, this is fire. And that's how the relationship started, essentially. around the school and
right.
the shirt.
And the shirt. Okay. Okay.
And it was like Nia, Jay, it was just Nakia, it was just a group of us that were all entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Every last one of us were entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And black.
Yes.
And unapologetically
black.
I remember you used to say that about Green Love.
Man, it's just a couple of things that I think about. First of all, I'm not vegan, right?
Yeah.
And Green Love Kitchen's a vegan restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Funny thing, I was getting pancakes every morning, didn't know they were vegan pancakes. I don't know if I ever told you that or not, but I felt like, even though I'm not a vegan, I'm looking at these young brothers and sisters that's actually doing something, right? Not just starting a business, but was about the community.
Yeah.
And I was like, vegan or not, it's like, if as an elder, if we can't support this, then what are we doing? I mean, I actually thought that. But then at the same time, a friend of mine's in Oakland, California, very wealthy brother, built a very successful marketing company, right? He had came to Atlanta and he had got a Think Black shirt. He said, man, in California, you get $40, $45 for one of these shirts, right? So I kept thinking about that, and I was selling them for $15 and $20, right? And I was struggling a little bit, so I called him up when he got back to Oakland, and I was like, yo, man, like, I don't care if I have to sweep your floors. Give me a job. I'll come out there and I can start selling and building my brand, right? He said I could do that. He said, but, and he knew all of my friends, right? He said, I love your friends, but if you come out here and you surround yourself around the same mindset, right? People that go to, that have a 9 to 5, they get a paycheck every week or every other week, right? You're going to end up in the same boat, right? So I was like, wow. So I didn't go nonetheless, right? But coming downtown Lithonia and Main Street, I was surrounded by entrepreneurs. And everyone was holding everybody accountable. Everybody was feeding off of one another. It wasn't the crab in the barrel mentality, right? So it's inspiring. I had never experienced being in this type of environment. I mean, even my wife fell in love with it. Like when she finally came in, and she was like, wow, I like this. Black folks loving on one another.
Yeah.
Because that essentially is what it was. It was just, we was loving her. There was a lot of love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't about money. It wasn't about politics. And we're going to get into politics in a little while. What I want to do is pause, because there's two more big points of the story, which is going to be, one, the politics, but Black Dot Bookstore. Right. The actual origin story, the genesis, how that came about. I'm going to take a quick little break. I think we may be like 20, 30 minutes in. Stay tuned for the next half of the Black Dot Media presents Finding the New Black Wall Street. Let's go.